today.
Okay, g'day, Rudy here, 8th of December. Welcome to the Daily Ninja Show. So we'll start off with the tank. So these are the weekly bars. So it was just off 0.5% today. Saved by the lithium gang he was. We'll get to that. The Australian share market. So again, we're off a little bit too. Pretty boring day really. If we look at America, so S&P 500, everyone's talking about it's going to crash. It doesn't look like it. Nearly at all-time highs. The old 20 weekly was good support. The Nasdaq. So again, it doesn't look like that's going to crash either. Gold. If I go to a daily chart. So this on the weekend, I just think we're going to consolidate for a bit, which is always good. Get some rest before you go again. Aussie dollar gold, same sort of story. The miners ETF. We'll look at the weekly charts. So we're off 1%. Same with GDX, off 1%. Got to wait for America. So Northern Star, I thought this week's going to be not an up day for the gold stocks, but a buying opportunity day, week I should say. GDXJ, so that's close of Friday last week. Have to wait for tonight. And Evolution, which is the biggest holding in there of our ASX stocks. So it's just having a breather too. There was a lot of breathing, a lot of relaxing going on today. Copper. So copper price is pretty clearly broken that resistance line there. So that's all good. So the wire ETF. So it's just basically flat today, but we had so all those people that bought down here and had to wait for a month, I'm sure you're happy now. So underneath them, so we've got First Quantum. I've got a little note here if they're in X-Metal. The Anto, Southern Copper, Tech. So they all look good. Our local boys in there, so BHP. That's, as I say, if you consolidate in the top half of the candle, it's bullish. So that was a big sprint for him. So Sandfire. So do I go yet? No, consolidate. Capstone. Do I go yet? No, consolidate. So CopJ. So this is again close of Friday. So same story. Those that bought down here, well done. So some of our local producers, so A1M doing the same. AIS, that still looks good. DVP. That's doing a nice consolidation there. And 29M, geez, I'd love. Yeah, that's setting up really nicely. Okay, so that's the copper gang. Uranium. Okay, so spot price. So it's just doing nothing. I don't think it'll drop. Utility companies will buy it up. So the URANIum ETF. So we had a pretty good sprint last week. So could have a bit of a pullback here. So if we look at Kamiko, so maybe a little pullback before another run up. Or Kazza, that's okay. So there's a shooting star for us. So Kazza's probably going to come back. Sport URANIUM Trust. Okay, URNJ. So again, that was a pretty good run last week. So a bit of consolidation before up. So we got Paladin. So again, well, it was off, so it closed. So it closed down 2%. So it gapped down on the open. So at least it held support. That's good news. Not much joy in the other ones. Rare earths. Okay, we got so REMX. So that's just consolidating nicely. Okay, so Mr. Linus, he recovered. Alright, well that's probably worth, I didn't think he was going to hold that support there. So if tomorrow is an up day, so a bit like that candle, it's probably worth, it's annoying when you buy it here and then it comes back. Yeah, it's interesting. So Linus has got an issue with their processing, and this goes to show it's not all that easy, this rare earth business. So they got their mine in Mount Weld mine, and then they got to send it to a cracking facility in Kalgoorlie, and this is one that's got electricity issues, which will only get worse if we go green. And then they got to ship it to Malaysia. So it's a hard gig, this rare earth business. Yeah, just because I know we're not, get a bit excited about rare earths sometimes. MP just consolidating. Aluka. Okay, what's their daily done? All right. So if he might want to come down a little bit. So they didn't help the tank today. Well, neither did the gold stocks really. But these guys did. They'd been dosing up big time on their lithium. So that's a futures price, which is just off the scale there. If we look at the spot price, you can see here where this is say July, so you can see where we're at highs, but if we look at a weekly chart, you can see we're far from those highs. So the more I look into it, the more I'm getting more bullish on lithium. A lot of people said there's lithium everywhere. It's no good. Anyway, so Lit P, that's the American one. I think it's going to take out those highs. So Pilbara, I think it's going to take out those highs. IGO, Liontown had a mammoth day. I think it's going to take out. But it showed that this daily 20 daily is a good time to buy. Same with IGO. Now we do have another producer on the ASX, that's this Alevra. They just started in October. So keep your eye on that one. And this Mr. Vulcan. Now, I knew they did a capital raise at $4, but they actually doubled their shareholding. So they issued at $4 the same amount of shares as they had prior to the capital raise. That's massive dilution. And please correct me if I'm wrong and you follow Vulcan, but that's what I think I read or heard. because if that's the case, and they've also, first production's been delayed from second half of 27 to second half of 28. So if all that's true, that's not very good news for Vulcan people, and I'd be staying away from it. Whereas CXO, that's still forming a nice pattern. INR still forming a nice pattern, and WC8 seems to be getting on with it. Okay, not great news stories today, really. Oil daily. Oh, look at that! We've popped it up above this little channel here. Is it going to continue? So, well, that's makes it more bullish. You don't back up. Well, at least if anyone listens to Rick Rule, I'm sure you've heard him. He's sold his mining stocks and he's backed up the truck on oil. But he's got stacks of cash. He can wait years for it to pay off. You got to remember about Rick Rule's tips. he doesn't mind if it takes 5 years, whereas I'm sure us punters, we want like next month. Natural gas still looking bullish. Woodside. So he's still giving everyone an opportunity to buy him. Fuel ETF just meandering along, doing its thing. Okay, girlfriend. Okay, so I think she's gonna. I'll just have a look at the hourly chart. On Friday night, she popped her head up, and then they're back in control again. They said, "Nah, get back down there." So I think we're going to be trading in a range, but that's, well, again, it's good, a bit like gold. If just as long as we don't get smashed down here, if we can consolidate, then break, that would be good. I know we all want it to go tonight, but zinc. So that looks like it's off. Lead, still lead balloon. ETP mag, just hanging in there. SILJ, so that's as of Friday night. So she's probably just going to do this until silver breaks out. So Heckler, First Majestic, they're all getting ready to go, so we might just have some little pullbacks here. Endeavour, well, that'd be nice by itself buy opportunity if it pulls back to here. Aya is another one in the old XMAT. So same thing until silver goes consolidation. So that goes for Mr. XMAT. I'll get rid of that line, really. Okay, so his lithium. Anyway, buying at these levels is good. You haven't got any better to buy now than later, I think. And then South 32 sort of caps up the day. Consolidation. Last week, new highs and consolidation. And all our little silver stocks didn't do much. Well, there wasn't any green, which is probably going to happen until silver breaks out again. All right. If you've got an ETF or share you reckon's looking good, let me know. Otherwise, see you tomorrow.